Welcome back to the Coffee House, guys, where we discuss miniatures, board games, and painting them, not necessarily in that order. If any of those things appeal to you, you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Give this video a like and drop a comment if you would. I love interacting with every single one of you. I appreciate it. It does help me get through my day. Now let's jump into it. Alright, so first, let's just go ahead and get out of the way. I am sorry that it has taken me so long to get this video uploaded. The truth is that I recorded the painting of this video quite some time ago. I even edited the painting portion. I did the voiceover. I did everything. Literally, the only thing I needed to do was the intro and the outro, and I just didn't get around to doing it. A couple reasons why. One of them is, the spooky season came and went, and we put a ton of work into our 13 games of Halloween series. That ate up a lot of time, and it flopped pretty hard, and in all honesty, it just really kind of it kind of demotivated me a little bit. We are just doing this for fun, and we do enjoy doing it, but you may understand that you put a lot of work and effort into something, and it flops like that. It's a little discouraging, so it left me feeling a little bit defeated. But that has come and gone. But in addition to that, I do still work a full-time job, and as we are getting ready to go into the holidays, we are particularly busy right now. So I'm working long hours, and it's physical work, and I just don't quite have the energy right now to do as much filming as recording as I would like. That's not to say that I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm just being honest with those of you that do watch my videos that it's just a little trickier right now this time of year. But please stick with me. Please be patient. I'm going to do everything I can to keep the content coming. Now, having said that, I have just begun a large commission because I do also do commissions on the side. As I've said, I've got the Etsy link down below for some of my work. But I'm doing a commission for Deep Rock Galactic right now, so that's going to eat up some time as well. So there may be yet another gap between seasons 1, 2, and stretch goals, and when I start seasons 3 and 4. And again, all the painting is done for season 1 and 2. The only video that I have left to edit is all of the investigators. It's already filmed. They've already been painted. We're all good. It's just the editing of this particular video for all the investigators is very time consuming because I didn't break it up like I did with the other investigators, just because there are so many investigators in the stretch goals box. It's just going to be one video, kind of like a speed paint compilation of how I paint such a large batch, but it's requiring a lot more editing work, so there might be a little gap again, another couple weeks before I get that video out, but I am working on it. Now that all of that is out of the way, Dagon is here. Now let's take a look and see what I did with him. Alright, let's kick this off with our usual primed with 100% coverage in gray. And we're going to start off with algae green, and we're going to cover pretty much the entirety of his carapace. So you have the added benefit of this edited video. Piece takes roughly an hour total, I would say, to paint. And here we have it down into a nice sizable 9.5 minutes. So big chunk of it is that algae green. So we're just going to go ahead and slather that on. Now the next main color we're going to use is this aged hide, which, as you've seen from this series, is a popular color. We use it a lot. So we're going to do a little bit of wet blending along the mouth here. So we're going to continue along with that algae green along this jawline here. And then once we get some good coverage up in this area, we're going to go ahead and switch over to that aged hide, and we're going to start doing some wet blending, which is, again, for this series in particular, a favored technique. Once that wet blending is done, we're just going to go ahead and continue along with the aged hide along these tentacles protruding from his mouth. And then we're going to come in again on the other side. We're going to wet blend that algae green just like we did on the other side. And we are good to go for this section. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that algae green, and we're going to hit this little goatee looking fin right here with that algae green. And we're going to do some wet blending with the aged hide on the interior like so. And then we're returning to the algae green again. We're going to finish doing the face. Now the reason I broke up the face from the rest of the body is because a large chunk of the face is wet blending. And with wet blending, of course, you want to make sure that you are working with wet paint, and this paint dries pretty quickly. So that's what we're doing here. So we're going to dab a little bit of that algae green. We're going to go back to that aged hide, and we're going to blend. Do some nice wet blending with that aged hide along the side of his face like so. And we're going to keep repeating that process. Algae green, and then aged hide, wet blending. Algae green, aged hide, wet blending. You know the drill by now, so just go ahead and follow along. Now that we've done both sides of the face, we're going to switch over to pastel salmon. Now, if you don't have this color in your repertoire, it's not completely necessary. I just thought it added a little bit more contrast to this piece overall. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do these fin flap things and the tentacles all along the interior of the body. We're just really going to slather on that pastel salmon. And then in the innermost portion of it, we're going to go over the pastel salmon with more of that aged hide. It works. Trust me. So aged hide over the pastel salmon. You want to do it while it's wet. And now we're going to take a little bit of periwinkle purple. And while that pastel salmon is still wet on those flaps, I'm sorry, I don't know what else to call them, you're going to go ahead and go over that with the periwinkle purple. You don't want to go super heavy with that periwinkle purple, but just enough to go over it. And we're going to repeat pastel salmon, aged hide, all along this model. The bottom portion of this model, that's the technique that we're using. We're just going to do a coat of one, and then while it's wet, a coat of the next. Nothing fancy here. In the end, it's just going to look really nasty. we're going to go ahead and tackle the tip of the tail, which is almost like its own separate piece with the way it's sculpted. So we're going to start, of course, with the algae green on that last portion of the carapace, and then we're going to cover it. We're going to go about 3/4 of the way up with the algae green, and then we're going to wet blend up to the top with that periwinkle purple. So the reason that I'm not still showing, you know, every single bottle of paint that I'm using is because we're just reusing these same colors in different ways across the majority of this model. So 3/4 up with that algae green, wet blend the rest of the way to the top with that periwinkle purple. It's going to give us a nice gnarly effect. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get this little tentacle thing sticking out of the top with the periwinkle purple. We're going to go inside of his mouth with the periwinkle purple. We're going to get this little tendril sticking out, his tongue, whatever you want to call it. Same thing, hitting it with the periwinkle purple. A lot of different colors on this model, but they all come together nicely in the end. So we're going to do the interior now with Plasmatic Bolt. If you don't have Plasmatic Bolt, if you have contrast paint, you'd be doing the same thing with the Aethermatic Blue. So you can use that color, they're pretty interchangeable. We're going to do the inside of his mouth with the Plasmatic Bolt as well. And this just creates like an otherworldly kind of glowish effect. And then we're going to go over all his claws and teeth and everything with some ancient stone. And we're going to let that dry, and we'll come back to that after that has dried. We'll do a little bit more work on the mouth and claws. But for now, you want to get a nice little coat of that ancient stone on there. It's going to help sell the effect. And now, using that same ancient stone, we're going to do kind of a dry brush, kind of a dab. You know, you'll see it's like a rough stippling all over his face. And we're going to come in with the ice yellow, and we're going to do the entire socket of the eye in the ice yellow. It's going to help us create a little glow effect that we want going on there. The more monstrous, the better. By now, the ancient stone should have dried. So we're going to come back and we're going to hit all of those bits with the bony matter. So the claws and the teeth, we're going to hit with the bony matter, because you don't want to just leave it bright like that. It stands out, it doesn't look natural, and that's not the way we paint around these parts. Once we've done this, that ice yellow should be dry, so we're going to come in with the demonic yellow, and we're just going to dot the eyeballs with it. And presto changeo, your end result of this nasty, wet, blended underwater freak should look something like this. I'm pretty happy with it. Hope you are too. And boom! Dagon is done. So that is the last great old one from the OG seasons of Death May Die. And that pretty much concludes the painting series, aside from, as I mentioned, the investigators, which, like I said, they're already painted, it's already filmed. I'm just in the editing process right now, and it's just taking a little bit longer than I would like, but that is coming. Also, full transparency, I actually have already painted a copy of seasons 3 and 4 of Death May Die. This is actually the second copy of the set that I'm painting. Why I didn't just paint it the first, or why I didn't just record it the first time around, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to knock it out as fast as I could, because that was a commission as well. But the good news is the painting process for the videos is going to be very quick. It's going to be very efficient, because I already have all the recipes written down. I already know how I painted it all, so we'll just be able to fire those out real quick once I get back into that groove again. Again, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your support. I love the comments. The views, no matter how small, they do mean a lot to me. And, you know, I try my best not to get discouraged. I know that, you know, the comments that I do receive are super positive. You guys are super supportive, and I just want you to know, especially going into the holiday season, that genuinely I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So please, those of you that are watching, those of you that are following along, those of you that are painting along, please keep commenting. I do see them. I do read them all. I try to respond to every single one. Occasionally it'll slip through the cracks, but I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you like what I did with Dagon. I would love to see some of your own painted work as well if you are painting along. shoot me a message. Maybe we can get you added to the Discord, join our little family. Link to Patreon and all that stuff down below. If you're interested in joining my little community down there, we'd be happy to have you. And until next time, we'll be back with the investigators. And again, thank you. I appreciate you. And we'll catch you soon.